agenda in every country, everywhere around the world. I don't think no one is immune from that. But we, as people who want to establish justice, I think we should speak up against the oppression, because keeping silent against oppression is a kind of oppression in itself.
Okay, now the problem we have in the States is
Yeah.
we have a system where lobbyists
Have a lot of power. Yeah.
pay for these guys to work. So it's not the best one winning. It's the one with the most money
And the most power. Yeah.
and the most power.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
He's probably going to win. Look how much money he has. He has an ad running every 5 minutes.
I have, something I've noticed, that the United States of America is probably the only country where there's more death than certain countries where they actually have wars because of your gun lobbies.
Not only that.
Well, it's mainly the cause of, more people in America, actually they don't die because of somebody killing someone else. In fact, there are more suicides happening in America than people killing others. And that is a huge problem. Why is this country, which is supposed to be the superpower, where there's a lot of suicide happening? Why?
Because we spend most of the money on war.
Yeah.
And
Your budget is huge.
Right.
The war.
and that money could go towards a medical system.
I totally agree.
We don't have a system.
Education and medicine is something that they should actually spend more. I totally agree. That is another injustice. Yes, and I totally agree with that, because the teachers are the ones who basically are the backbone when it comes to imparting knowledge and teaching them. And this is basically all these things. The education is where the knowledge is.
You have to have a degree to get.
Shouldn't you? In America, they don't need a degree? Really? Wow. That's surprising. So anyone can be a teacher?
No, what I'm saying is, well, they go and they do it.
Okay.
But you need a higher degree to teach.
Well, anyway, let's hope the injustices around the world kind of are minimized, if not completely stopped. Ideally, they should be stopped, but that's obviously impossible to happen overnight over there. But at least we try to speak out against it. That's what I'm saying.
I think the next generation coming up are not as money hungry.
True.
I think they have more compassion, and they're just not going to be held down.
In the Quran, there's a verse in the Quran which says that if you kill one man unjustly, it is as if you have killed the whole of mankind. This is in chapter 5, verse 32. And if you save one man, it is as if you have saved the whole of mankind. So unjust killing is something which is not part of Islam. Earlier you mentioned about terrorists. All these people like the ISIS and other terrorists who actually bomb and kill people in the name of Islam, they have nothing to do with Islam. It is like what KKK has to do with Christianity, or what these militant monks have to do with Buddhism in Burma. Yes? So these fringe groups will always be there. That doesn't mean we allow them to hijack the mainstream religions, because the mainstream religions have always spoken out against injustice. Yes? In fact, you don't even need to be religious to speak out against injustice. This is something from the fitrah. It's something from the natural disposition of a person to call out injustice, whether it's unjust murder, whether it is rape, whether it is, I don't know, even if it's paying someone less than what they deserve. That is an injustice, like you said, the teachers. Yes, even you should speak out against that. So every form of injustice should be basically not be tolerated and should be challenged. And if people keep quiet, then I believe that is a form of injustice in itself. Because silence is not something which should be tolerated in the face of injustice. Specifically those who have the power, those who have the ability, and those who have the platforms to speak out against it.
Unfortunately, the prophets in the USA get shot down, okay?
Sorry,
The prophets in the USA.
who are the prophets?
Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King was a prophet?
Well, what I mean by prophet, I mean...
Oh, you mean like,
the
people who
tried to
speak out
out.
against injustice.
All right.
But that is, I would call them martyrs in their field, because this, at least they had the courage to speak out against. Because imagine if all those people from the African American society kept quiet against the injustice that they had suffered for 400 years through slavery, do you think they would be free today? The reason they are free today is because there were people amongst them who spoke out against that.
With all the racial, how free are they with the injustices?
They are not yet free completely. I totally agree. In fact, they have been the victims of the police in America most of the time, just because they might be pulling out, I don't know, a wallet from the pocket, or some kid playing with a toy gun. Yes, these trigger-happy cops in America, they just shoot on sight just because the guy has a different skin color. And that's completely unjust as well. That shouldn't be happening. For that, I think I thank the British government, at least the police over here. Not all of them carry guns, so they cannot use that as an excuse, or we shot someone because we thought he might be carrying a weapon. Yes, it is important for them to defend themselves, obviously, being the force of law here, they're keeping law and enforcement here. However, they are not the kind who have been taught to be trigger happy and shoot at sight just because they had a gut feeling somebody was doing wrong. And specifically, that gut feeling is even more prone, I would say, when the person has a different skin color. Yes, and we hear this every day on the news. And I see this as something has to be done about it.
You see, I'm going to tell you, all these groups like the NRA.
Yeah, the lobby for the guns, yes.
They're not going to do it.
They are not. They are very powerful. I totally agree, yes.
Big Pharma, Big Farm, NRA.
Yep. A lot of injustice. I totally agree. And you see all these school shootings happening by children, or by youngsters, by teenagers, yes. They are able to gain access to these automatic rifles, you know. And they say that they can buy it just on the counter, just by paying a few dollars, and they can get it so easily. If that is the case, then why would we blame that these youngsters are falling into this trap? If people have access to drugs and to guns, they'll misuse it. Yes? Don't expect everyone to be some sort of a person who would say, yes, I have access to this, so I'm going to not misuse it. They will misuse it.
But once again, you have
human nature.
Yeah, but it's because of the breakdown in society.
Yeah.
Everybody's working. They don't look after the children. There's no resources for mental health. There's no resources in the schools.
You know, many of these things, I think that is where religion comes in. So many people might say that religion is not important.
It's not allowed in the schools.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Again, all these things, you know, this secular separation of the religion from the state is what basically today we see that many of these schools who say that we don't need religion, we don't need God, we don't need this. What is the next choice for them? The next choice for them is to go into nihilism or go into things like no God, you know, atheism, and then into anarchy, that we can do anything we want. You need some grounding for the morals. The atheist and agnostic cannot claim grounding for morals because their morals come from their parents or from the schools. But then they say that, where did this come from? They say, oh, just our forefathers did it. But that is not the grounding. For us, the grounding is from our Creator. He's the one who told us what is right for us and what is not right for us. What is right for the society as a whole. So even though one person might be saying that, oh, it's okay for me to drink, I can control the drink, or another person saying it's okay for me to gamble, I can control my gambling habits, that doesn't mean every person in the society will abide by that particular feeling or that ruling.
So conditioned to not paying taxes, you're going to drag it out on you. And therefore there's no money to pay them for maternity leave, staying at home, like the Scandinavian countries.
Yeah. You know, the poor people will certainly suffer from taxation. However, the rich people, do you think they'll stop their habits of drinking alcohol just because you raise the taxes? Yes? So it doesn't matter how much the price of alcohol and cigarettes go up in this country. The number of drinkers and smokers hasn't really depleted. So I don't think taxation stops anything. But if there's a law, then I think it'll stop it.
I'm saying if there was more taxes, there would be more money to fund teachers, policemen.
Ah, that's what you think. Do you really think the government would actually spend their money on teachers and on other good things? They will actually fill their coffers and start increasing the budget of their defense. Like you said, they do. They don't spend all the time on the good things. I'm not saying they don't spend completely. Of course, they have to give some money to education, some money. But every year you see the budget of the defense goes up. The social welfare and the teachers and so on, they normally go down.
Yes.
And this is the same in Europe. and in America, I
it has
think.
to be voted by the senators that you vote in. So the senators have to say, well, I'm going to vote for more money for weapons. I'm going to vote for more money for teachers. Which one are you going to vote for?
Ideally,
it's not as if the budget is approved by one person.
Ideally, we would expect that to happen, but you see, the democracy that we speak of today is not really the democracy the forefathers of democracy wanted to implement. Today, it is no longer for the people. Yes, it is always for the government. Yes, whatever. For example, there were, I think, more than a million people who marched out here before the war in Iraq. Everybody wanted them to stop the war in Iraq. Did they listen to any of us? Absolutely not. You know why? Because, like I said, it's no longer for the people. The initial forefathers of democracy wanted it for the people. The democracy is by the people, for the people, and of the people. Yes? That's no longer the case. So we have moved away. I think this democracy should be called something else. And this should stop bombing people who don't want democracy, not their kind of democracy at least.
I don't think well, there is bombs, but I think we are moving more towards a world of sanctions.
Even sanctions. Look, if the sanctions are something which are humane in the sense that they would at least allow basic necessities like food and medicine to the people, then yes, with all due respect, go ahead and do it, because if it's going to have an impact on the government to stop them from developing nuclear weapons or from stop oppressing the people, then please do so. Yes, today we see in China lots of Muslims are put into camps. Yes, who is going to put sanctions against them when almost 90% of our things that we use in our daily life today comes most likely from China, from the smallest pin to our cars, and our phones are manufactured over there.
President Trump has
Say again?
a whole bunch of sanctions against China.
I don't think so. I think the sanctions against China are most likely watered down, because I don't think America can survive without the Chinese goods being exported there, because many of their iPhones and all this are manufactured actually in China. So I doubt big corporations in America will take it lightly for sanctions against the Chinese. But anyway, what I'm saying is that if the sanctions work, go ahead with it. However, do not abuse the people with those sanctions. That's all I'm saying. But that's not right. It just, like I said, the ends do not justify the means. If you're going to use the means as abusing the people unjustly, then that is not right. Killing women and children and starving them to death, or basically stopping vital medicine and aid to them, it is something that happened in Iraq, which Madeleine Albright, a person who was a senator in the United States, she clearly said it is a price worth paying. And to me, that sounds inhumane and unjust. Anyway, very nice speaking to you. I think we started off on the wrong foot, but we're probably speaking about the same things. Thanks a lot. All right, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khairan.